I am Cody. Oh, you're not going to lose your mind, so throw popcorn over that one, huh? What is up, everybody? Welcome to my review of a Minecraft movie. This is the latest video game adaptation that is based off the first weekend's box office, on the track to possibly being the highest grossing video game adaptation of all time, and maybe even the top grossing film of 2025. So obviously a Minecraft movie is a live action adaptation of the video game Minecraft. It's been very popular over the last decade plus. I personally have never played it. I basically know nothing about it other than the fact that you build things. So walked into this one absolutely blind, expecting not to get a lot of the in-jokes, expecting not to get a lot of the references, but hoping that it would still be at least an entertaining time regardless. And that's the tricky thing when you adapt something like this. Obviously, they expect that the majority of people flocking out to the theaters, if this is going to be a massive blockbuster hit, are going to be people that never actually played the game. So you have to have enough in there to really spark the interest and get a lot of excitement out of the hardcore Minecraft fans, but you got to have enough in there as well to not leave all the rest of us behind. And the plot of this movie revolves around a group of characters that get a hold of this little tesseract looking object that I believe is called the Orb of Dominance, that allows them to kind of go through a portal into the world of Minecraft, and they meet Jack Black's character, who is Steve, who I presume is the main character of the video games. And there is this pig queen that is trying to get the Orb of Dominance, and all of the human characters have to team up to try to use the powers available to them in this Minecraft world to prevent her from getting this object. So starting off with the positives of a Minecraft movie, I do think that the world that they are realizing here, the world of Minecraft, the overworld, I believe they call it, was interesting to look at. You know, it's very much kind of in the vein of the way that they realized the Super Mario world, where it's very much CGI and animated, but of course our main characters are all human. And so it has this very video game flavor to it. You have the way that all the objects they interact with, the way that they build certain structures that are very animated, all of the creatures that inhabit this world, both friendly as well as the evil piglins and the creepers and the zombies, are all very fun to look at. So for something that is in a time where, most notably the ones from Disney, we kind of bitch about how they say live action, but it's not actually live action, I kind of liked that flavor in this one. It felt like a nice compromise of having fun actors that we like and having a world that is absolutely fully animated, but kind of blending the strengths of both of those mediums together.
Teleport you to wherever you throw it.
Yeah, right.
And that was the only one I had. No biggie.
I also appreciated the fact that this movie fully embraces its ridiculousness. This is directed by Jared Hess, who is famous for directing Nacho Libre and even more so Napoleon Dynamite, two films that admittedly I have not seen, but I have seen tons of clips, especially from Napoleon Dynamite, and I don't get that type of humor, so I've never really had the interest in sitting down and watching it, never thought that it would be something I would enjoy, but it's definitely that style of humor here, where it's very awkward, it's borderline cringy, it's over the top with the stupidity, but some of it landed, and I think the fact that they just went full in, like when I saw the trailers, I thought this looked abysmal. I thought that Jack Black was so over the top. I thought that having Jason Momoa with a ridiculous pink leather jacket and the 80s hair, I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? In context of the movie, all of those absolutely asinine, cringeworthy elements actually make a lot of sense, and they have a lot more entertainment value in them when you see them in motion. Like, I will forever have the image of Jack Black holding onto the hair locks of Jason Momoa and flying through the air. That's an image that will never leave my mind. Thank you, Minecraft movie. I really enjoyed the cast here. Now, some of them don't get as much to do as others, like Jack Black and Jason Momoa are absolutely the stars of the show here. They're the ones that are the characters that are in the forefront. They get all the best lines, all the best moments. But you've got Danielle Brooks in here, who most of us know as Tasty from Orange is the New Black. You've got Jennifer Coolidge in here. So a lot of people, a lot of personalities that are just fun to be around. So much like with Death of a Unicorn, may not have loved everything that was going on, but the cast of characters that I'm following, I enjoyed going on the ride with them just because I enjoy them. There's a lot of classic fantasy elements to the way that they're structuring this movie with having the evil queen of a group of monsters trying to get a goal or get an object, and then having all the heroic characters opposing them, and this whole world-trotting adventure of them trying to escape the evil queen that all leads to a third act battle with two different sides. Like, very classic elements there that I certainly did not expect to be a piece of Minecraft, and maybe it's not a part of the actual game, it's just something that they kind of fashioned for this movie, but it has classic elements to it that I think are going to have that appeal to younger audiences especially. There's a reason why a lot of movies and stories for kids tend to have the same recurring themes, the same recurring elements, because kids tend to enjoy them, and it's a safe bet that it's going to work. Moving on to the mixed, as much as I love Jack Black, I'm going to stick him here because I think this is one of those movies that very much crafts itself around the personality and kind of the stereotype or the shtick of Jack Black when he's cranked up to 11. And we all know exactly what that looks and sounds like. You know, you have movies like School of Rock that embrace that and I think harness it in a way that is brilliant. And then you have things like last year's Dear Santa or Dear Satan, whatever the hell it was called, that embrace that in a way that just makes it incredibly annoying, and it feels like you don't even have a script, you don't even have a screenplay for him to do, you just tell him the basic plot and let him Jack Black his way through it. And I feel like Minecraft is somewhere in the middle of that. They absolutely crank all of the Jack Black dials up to 12 in this movie, and there's some aspects of that that I always enjoy. I always get a kick out of him just randomly breaking out into song, and especially the way that he tends to write lyrics where they're very silly and ridiculous, but they kind of have some awkward catchiness to it. You know, think the Peaches, Peaches, Peaches song or something along those lines. You get like 2 or 3 of those moments in this movie where it's like, oh, so we're just going to stop. We're just going to absolutely stop the movie and let Jack Black sing the plot for about 15 seconds. Fine. I'm totally on board for that. And I would be lying if I have not found myself humming or even, you know, full on singing the Lava Chicken song over the last couple of days. It works for me. What can I say? I really like aspects of when you have Jack Black cranked up. But there's also aspects to it that I feel like do borderline on being a bit annoying and a little bit over the top, even as a fan of Jack Black, where like every single line has to be like the Jack Black inflection. Every single thing that he says has to have this weird awkwardness to it. And it's fun for certain moments, like the I Am Steve moment that everybody has been memeing to death for whatever reason. But when every line in the movie is like that, I feel like it loses its luster. It loses the opportunity to have moments really stick out, to have that inflection work, to make that moment pop more. It's just everything that he's doing. And the other mixed element of this really isn't so much a reflection on the movie itself, but it is a part of the Minecraft movie conversation that I do think is important to have. And that is the fact that this movie has been wildly successful. It has stormed past all of the best expectations. I think the expectation was 150 million its first weekend. It's already crossed past 300 million, and it's kind of turned into a bit of a phenomenon. I don't know if it's going to have legs or if it's just going to have a super strong first or second weekend. But that is awesome to see for the sake of the success of the movie industry. It's, you know, cool to see as far as the success of the theater industry. Having a whole theater full of people. Like when I went to go get tickets to this movie for me, my wife, and my daughters to check it out, I actually struggled to find an open screening, and that's cool to see. That's exciting to see. But at the same time, a lot of the success of this movie so far has seemingly been driven by meme culture and TikTok culture and the most obnoxious, insufferable version of teenage Minecraft fans. And god damn, like, luckily I did not experience a very bad version of this in my screening. At worst, I just had a group of teenagers next to me where 2 or 3 of them were like having body convulsions at certain lines in this movie that made no sense. Like, I Am Steve, I understand is taken off for some reason, but the fact that the person next to me was like flailing around like you just got hit with a fucking taser, like, I don't quite understand that level of excitement, but I'm not going to yuck on his yum. If he's having a good time and he's not disturbing me, cool. But I have seen pictures, videos, it's been a trend that's been going around of everybody taking TikToks of theater managers pausing the movie and coming in and just losing their shit on everybody because they're screaming and people are leaving the film and there's popcorn and there's drinks thrown and candy thrown all over the fucking theater. That shit is ridiculous. And if you're somebody that has participated in that, you're a fucking idiot. So on one hand, like I want to champion how successful the movie has been, even if I don't quite get it, because success for the movie industry is great. It means we're going to get more movies, and there's less of a dire feeling out there for those of us that love the movie and the theater industry. But at the same time, I don't want the movie industry to start to cater to these types of crowds. And the theater industry certainly has seemed like they're starting to push some of their strategy towards catering to these types of groups, because they're talking about text-friendly theaters and marijuana-friendly theaters. And after this, I'm sure they're going to have lose your shit and throw your popcorn everywhere friendly theaters. Like, they're in a bind where it's like, hey, these people are paying to see it. They're giving us hundreds of millions of dollars. I guess we're just going to let them have free reign. That's my fear. So again, does it really have to do with the Minecraft movie? No, but it's a conversation that is certainly sparked because of the crowd that is seeing the Minecraft movie. Now moving on to the negatives. Look, this is a film that is low-hanging fruit by design, by intention, and I think that it succeeds pretty well at doing that. Obviously, a lot of people are really enjoying this. I think kids are enjoying it. I think Minecraft fans are enjoying it. The obnoxious teens are enjoying it, and I'm sure there's some adults that are enjoying it, but this is a very bare bones script, a very bare bones story. And the conflict that I have, like sometimes I can just understand and acknowledge like this was not made for me, this is made for kids. But I feel like when I was growing up, the made for kids type movies were better. They had more going on. There was more substance there. There was more of an appeal that would go across generations where adults and kids alike could get something out of it. There was usually something in there that was very low-hanging fruit, goofy, and surface level for the kids to latch onto, and something a little bit deeper for adults to get a hold of and to enjoy it for. And I feel like a lot of movies nowadays, you can go to Snow White, you can go to this one for just recent examples. A lot of us try to say it's just for the kids, but even saying that, it kind of depresses me. It's like, damn, these are the movies that my kids grow up with. Man, they're getting shortchanged compared to what a lot of us in the 80s and the 90s grew up with. I grew up with a Goofy movie and Sandlot and Heavyweights, and my kids get a Minecraft movie. Chicken Jockey, that's their legacy. Ugh. And so what I'm getting at with all of that is anything that I can actually analyze as somebody that critiques films, I don't think is very good here. Like, I think all of the entertainment value, all of the appeal of this movie is with the goofiness, is with the meme culture, is with the visuals, is with the ties to the video game, which I personally can't enjoy because I've never played the video game. So like on a story level here, I find it to be not very satisfying of a tale. And a lot of it's very cliche and redundant of other movies. You have a group of characters that get teamed up with the expert and they have to, go on this little adventure. But all of the deeper elements of this, like the character relationships or the character arcs, or, even just something that as simple and seemingly right there as some kind of a mentorship between the Jack Black character and the lead kid here, where you see very much a similarity. They both want to create things. They're both kind of ostracized for that. They don't feel like they really belong. At no point does the movie actually connect them like that, where it's like Jack Black's experience of living in this world essentially alone with this cartoon dog. You have some perspective there that can help this young kid who's seemingly heading down the same doomed path. Very similar to Jumanji. Like, I got a lot of Jumanji vibes from this, where you have the young kid and you have the Robin Williams character, and their experiences can create some kind of a father figure mentorship there. And they never bothered to do that here. Like, there's just no attempt to do anything deep or anything memorable or anything on any emotional level here. It's just goofy schlock. And if that's all you want is goofy schlock, that's fine. There's movies out there like Screamboat that I just reviewed where that's enough to get me to give it, somewhat of an enthusiastic thumbs up. But sometimes you want more. And sometimes the pieces are all there to give us more. And giving us more is not going to detract or take away from all of the goofiness that you're going for. It's only going to give something else in there for those of us that need a little bit more out of the experience to grab a hold of and hopefully enjoy your film. I also thought the way that they structured the plot was a little odd. Like, you get like a 7-minute exposition montage dump in the beginning of this that introduces the character of Steve, the world of Minecraft, the rules of Minecraft, the piglin leader, the orb of dominance, what the rules of the overworld are, all of that stuff, where it literally felt like everything pre-title sequence was almost like an idea for its own movie that they just said, let's just go ahead and get to the sequel because that's all the shit we really want to do. And, you know, I don't know if it would have been better to have a whole movie with just Jack Black discovering his wolf dog and discovering the powers of the overworld. I don't know. But it did feel odd that we got all of that very quick. And then there's like a 15-minute lull where we're just hanging out on Earth and introducing these other characters before we eventually get back to the Minecraft stuff. And even though I enjoyed the third act battle sequence, even that kind of felt structurally odd within this movie. Now, towards the end of the second act, I did start to have some of those long blinks because I was kind of getting bored with the shtick of the movie. So I stood up and actually went to go get a refill on my drink, which I never do, just to kind of get the blood flowing again. And then when I came back, we were like right thick into the middle of this huge epic battle scene. And I was just like, what the fuck did I just miss? And I asked my wife, like, what did I miss? Oh, you didn't really miss anything. They just started fighting. As I said earlier, a number of characters here feel like they get shortchanged. Jack Black and Jason Momoa get all of the meat of this movie, all the best moments. You have Tasty is what I always call her, so I'll just call her Tasty. Tasty's basically sidelined to just being a babysitter for the younger girl here. The younger girl's relationship with her brother feels very surface level, so she doesn't even really feel entirely relevant. And just the little kid who is, you know, the new Steve, the one who wants to create, any opportunity they had to really put his relevance into the plot, it felt like they did a half measure there. So cool cast of characters, cool group of actors here, but a lot of them really feel superfluous to the plot, and no one more than Jennifer Coolidge. Jennifer Coolidge has an entire subplot where she's divorced and she's dating a Minecraft character. And every single scene that she's in just felt like somebody in charge of this movie was a Jennifer Coolidge fan, and they just wanted to put her in there because she was available that weekend. She adds nothing to the movie. Her character adds nothing to the plot. Her presence really doesn't even do anything aside from just add another goofy element, but it's the same goofy, ditzy Jennifer Coolidge that we've been seeing since 1999. So I really just don't think they utilized their cast very well. They had a great cast, but they didn't utilize all of them. And the last thing that I'll say here, again, it's not necessarily a reflection on the movie because this is just speculation on my part, but because the movie is so thin on a lot of these elements that you really need to actually tell a story and actually have a successful film, it feels like they really just kind of dove into all of the most surface level elements, knowing that Minecraft fandom is huge, and just use this movie as an opportunity to further advertise Minecraft. Like, that's the biggest thing that I got out of this movie is like, wow, look at all of these elements that I could go home and play. And I just think that's a shame. I think there's a way that you can translate a video game's world and characters and story into this medium and do something interesting with it. Obviously, we've struggled with doing that for decades because we're only just now starting to get some really good ones, but this one really felt like it was geared towards TikTok culture and geared towards video game fans, just with the hope of furthering Minecraft's success, not necessarily with making a good movie. Overall, guys, this is a movie that seemingly the target audience is enjoying it. And so if you are a target audience of Minecraft, go out, give it a shot. You'll probably have a good time. Seems like the video game fans are having fun with the references. It seems like the meme culture is having fun with all of the meme moments in the movie. And it seems like kids, young kids, are enjoying this for the silliness and the goofiness. But if you need something more out of your film than seeing a crowd lose their mind or seeing your son or daughter smile and have a good time, I don't know if there's a whole lot of meat left on the lava chicken of the Minecraft movie. Pretty surface level, pretty basic. Well, that's it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed that, click over here for all of my 2025 new release reviews. I'm also going to put my review of Screamboat up here, another new release from this past weekend. Like, share, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss everything in the future. And as always, remember, opinions are like assholes, but that doesn't mean you have to be.